Welcome back to the Only the Huddle podcast. Hey, look, the coaching staff is finally complete. We showed you a little sneak peek last week, but we're going to go in depth with some of the assistants on the staff and what their roles are and how it could be very important for this 2024 Washington Commanders offseason. Also, look at other things to come in the offseason with the offseason planning book, I would say, as a teacher. So buckle up with Ceelo, Coach Breeze, and me. It is the Only Huddle podcast presented by RedzonedcMedia.
I know it looks like Ceelo is at a hotel, but he disappeared. I don't know exactly where he is. But Breeze, what's good, man?
What's good?
Oh, there you go.
Is he back? He's still
He
frozen.
trying to slide around the camera. Welcome back to Owning the Huddle podcast. Brother Deuce is here. He's here to defend his O-line. I'm getting sick and tired of you dudes and this fan base talking about my O-line. We gonna handle this today.
I said tell CJ to drop it.
No, y'all not fixing that, bro. Y'all not fixing that.
Nah, it's over. You already put it out there, DT.
I put Troy Apke because he ain't getting on the field. He ain't getting on defense at all.
See, that's the problem. You drinking that South Evil.
Seriously, he's gonna make the team, and he's gonna be a up back or something.
Up back is crazy. He's not making the team.
What is
If he makes this team as it's up, you know what? Nope.
All the fans leaving again.
They love trap.
What's up, everybody? It is Only the Huddle podcast presented by RedzonedcMedia. We got Ceelo, we got Coach Breeze, and we got Deuce in the building.
Nah, don't try to say me out. You straight left me out on the intro, yeah. Messed up, man.
Oh man, this is nasty. But look, so we kind of back again. So we had a little conversation after the show, and because there's so much stuff happening this off season with the magnitude of having a competent ownership so far, getting a head coach that can establish a good staff from what we've seen on paper. Hopefully it'll translate on the field. And we're heading to the off season with a lot of cap room and the number 2 pick. Why not play a little bit with this off season, man? You know, I think this is very important for us as Commanders fans for this transition from one era to another. So we're going to ahead and get started. So first thing of business is coaching staff. We talked about that last week. Some of the key guys, you know, Kingsbury and a guy like Joe Witt Jr. who stole the show. But let's go a little bit more in depth with some of the key assistants that's on this squad. So the first thing obvious we talked about last week is the one that's kind of a head scratcher for some is former offensive line coach for the New York Giants, Bobby Johnson, coming over to be our offensive line coach. And is within my understanding, talking to some Giants fans, and one of my friends, he's a diehard Giants fan in South Carolina. He tells me that, you know, he's a solid coach. I don't think he got the best out of his group that he wanted to, but a lot of those issues are more on the Giants than him from his perspective. Now, other Giants fans will tell us differently from then and there, but this person, you know, I talked to very close and said, you know, from his time with the Bills, they did have a solid offensive line. Even, you know, the years that Josh Allen had his revival of, well, not revival of his career, but had that emergence in his career. So where are you guys kind of at on the Bobby Johnson hire so far?
I mean, that's the one hire I think a lot of people were confused, iffy, whatever word you want to put right there. Not sold on. I don't know a whole lot about him to say it was a bad hire. And we all know where I'm at this point. I'm trying my best to stay even kid. I'm trying my best to, trust the process and I do know that some of the units he's been charged with leading haven't been great. But again, that could be very much talent based more so than it is coaching. So I'm waiting to see. 'Cause I know we don't necessarily have the most talented group as it currently stands to deal with. So you know, trying to be patient, but I'm on the fence with it. But
So Ceelo, we know you're kind of Mr. Skeptical in our group. So obviously, we know that the Giants, they were kind of bad just like us, right? Some of the deficiencies in the offensive line. They drafted guys like Evan Neal high in the draft, and so far he hasn't lived up to the expectations for the New York Giants, and they also had depth problems as well. Um, even though they had those issues far before a Bobby Johnson, do you still think he should share some of the blame because that was his job anyway? Or should we give him a slight pass because Andrew Thomas did become all pro under Bobby Johnson's watch?
I think what people are looking for in their offensive line coach is probably like something that doesn't exist, right? I think they're looking for a coach that can take any guy off the street who may end up being 6'5", 315, and can show them how to move their feet, and you know what I'm saying. I think people kind of get obsessed with, oh well, we just kind of like if the coaching is good, then the rest takes care of itself, which I gotta disagree, man. I think you need both. I think you need ballers, and I think you need coaches who know how to get the best out of individuals. Because there's plenty of talented players that come out of the draft, out of college, and they never reach their potential because unfortunately they get into a situation that's real bad, and unfortunately it doesn't work out. So I feel like people are looking for that guy. Like people looking for like a newer version of Bill Callahan, maybe, or a newer version of other coaches we've seen come through these, those, I mean, dare I say, rest in peace, Joe Bugle, those kind of guys. So, I'm willing to, like Bree said, I'm willing to give him a chance. He has a tight end background. He coaches tight end in the past. He has a very interesting and eclectic kind of background. It's not just offensive line. He's worked, throughout the offense and even a little bit of defense too. So I'm gonna give him a chance. I'm gonna see what he can do. Let's get him some players, man. Let's go get him some players, whether it's free agency, draft. Let's make sure he gets some talent in here, and then judge him based off of that. That's all I can say.
I
yeah,
agree.
I,
I agree.
no, I agree. I agree with CeeLo. I mean, like as a coach, like if I can mold clay if you give me a ball of clay to mold. But if you give me a pile of dirt, like I'm gonna look at you like what I'm supposed to do with this. Like you know what I'm saying? Like so like yeah, while yes, coaching does play a role in it, you have to have some kind of foundation to kind of build on as a coach. You can't just take, you know, anybody and turn them into an elite player at any position, but especially offensive line at the most elite level.
Yeah, that's right. And I think another thing is with Bobby Johnson, he has a track record, coming from Buffalo. We know Buffalo has been a solid organization, and to come to the Giants, like let's not forget that despite the talent deficiencies on the O line, despite the injuries and inconsistent play, this team still made it to the playoffs with that offensive line. So they had a game plan every week, despite the changes on that offensive line and how they wanted to either run the football, play action, or move the ball around and get them to the 9 wins to get to the playoffs. Also, another person in that offensive line room is Daryl Stapleton, a former Pittsburgh Steeler. His track record is pretty solid so far. I do remember his time being the assistant O-line coach at Louisiana. He was also there at Florida, so that's also relations to Dan Quinn. He was the defensive coordinator during his time in Florida, and Stapleton coached, if I'm not mistaken, our guy that who was the guy from I can't remember the offensive lineman name. He was from Florida, and we killed Lady E because we had him first round. I said he's not going first round.
I forget his name now too.
Yeah, and he did win second round, but he was pretty solid rookie. So that's for the O line because I think that's the one we're kind of questioning. But I think one person that can definitely help the offensive line is Anthony Lynn. Well respected coach, has had multiple stops where run game and stuff. And me and Deuce, before we even went to own the Huddle podcast, we did Reds on the Lab with Young Heavy, and he gave us a lot of insight on Anthony Lynn and how important he was to the 49ers run game coordinator and the running backs. And we know that the running backs they get their carries, they get their yards, and they do what they do under Anthony Lynn. So Anthony Lynn is coming over here not only as the run game coordinator, but as the running backs coach. And question for you, Breeze, you know a guy like this that has a lot of experience with a certain position, you being very specialized with the wide receivers, how much does it mean to have somebody to be a run game coordinator and also speak the language to the running backs like a Brian Robinson and a Chris Rodriguez?
It definitely matters. I mean, as a players want somebody who's done what they've done, who can speak their language, and either done it at a high level as a player or have coached players to do it at a high level. And then as far as a coaching staff, it definitely helps the totality of the coaching staff as long as those coaches know how to kind of play their role and get in where they fit in. So as long as there's nobody trying to step on toes and do too much more than what their Call of Duty is, I think everything will be fine on both fronts.
Yeah, so Ceelo, we're talking about the offensive line. That's something that has been a problem since Ron has kind of done some changes, big changes on that offensive line, and we know offensive linemen they want to run the ball, and I think that was something that they were kind of not kind of, they were definitely screaming to EB, we should have ran the ball more. But also with that thinking, that should be able to help the offensive line, right? To be a little bit better with pass protection because you're not trying to, from my perspective, Kliff Kingsbury talked about the balance in his offense, the run game and the pass game. Do you think that will help with having Bobby Johnson and Anthony Lynn work together in helping the offensive line be better than we saw last year?
It would seem so because we were allergic to running the football last year. So I think you're gonna have two guys that genuinely believe to run the football. You had you had Bobby Johnson with guys like Saquon and that stable of running backs and the Giants, and Anthony Lynn had a bunch of really good players working and playing for him as well. I also think that I think I read somewhere that there's a possibility that Bobby Johnson is also very good with scheming around mobile quarterbacks, right? So you have a guy like Josh Allen, and you have a guy like if you guys want to call Daniel Jones mobile, I think we could call him mobile. And then whoever we end up drafting this year, maybe that's part of the strategy that Kliff and Dan Quinn is trying to think about. Like, okay, we want to kind of run a very dynamic offense, and let's go look for talented coaches that have different experiences running, a system that you have a lot of mobility, you have a lot going on, under center. You have a guy that may pull it, RPO. You may have a guy that may do some play action. How does the blocking schemes align with that kind of dynamic play selection? So it may be a little bit of a method to their madness with a guy like Bobby Johnson and Anthony Lynn, not just a name, but actually experience with dealing with these quarterbacks that are unique, and you got to learn how to teach these linemen how to hold blocks a little bit differently. Don't hold if you pass you on your shoulder, let it go. Little things like that, and that may be part of the story. We'll find out soon, hopefully. In the OTAs and minicamp, stuff like that.
Let's get through. What's up, Ross? Charles. We definitely appreciate you, man. Love y'all coming through. Love you, man. We appreciate your support. What's up, George? Yes. So the coaching group itself has 269 total years of NFL experience. That's crazy. and I wonder what it was last year. 175 years as coaches and 94 as players, which I really like. I really like
the player
us
piece.
having some players that some former players that are credible coaches too, not just signing players, old players, just cause. And 15 Super Bowl rings between all of them, so that's definitely a whole lot of experience. Command taking was good. This might be your first time comment, so we definitely appreciate you. Subscribe, hit the like button, always come back, chop it up with us. It's got to be hard to coach a big offensive lineman, especially if the guy can't block. Yeah, it got to be tough. Like it's difficult. Like just thinking about getting all the way up to this level and not being able to do the basics of blocking. And for the people that picked you, the talent evaluators, not to see that on tape, it's kind of mind-boggling.
Man, you'd be surprised how many dudes get through just by being,
Just their
big,
size.
just bigger,
Yeah.
stronger, faster, but having zero.
I mean, look at what's his name? The dude Kim and them love. The tight end dude.
Oh, Samus.
Samus Reyes.
He didn't even
Yeah,
play
Samus
football. Right?
That's right. We need dogs. What's up, Juan? Glenn, what it do? Charles, I hope we can get the O line right. Me too, man. Hey, Kim. Off topic because I'm sure you guys will get to him because I'm very excited about the David Blow hiring. I love when teams, especially us, hire former players as coaches for the position they played. I'm sure DT gonna get there with him. Yeah, man, I saw that. Ross is picking up, and then some other breaking news. DT, they PFF said that the Bears will have their quarterback decision by next week. So here we go. Look. Just when I said here we go. Hey, look. Okay, so look. Jimmy Johnson sold his soul to be a part of the Ring of Honor. Now he running around telling everybody he's an advisor with Jerry Jones. So the Cowboys Cowboy fans excited. He ain't been involved in football since 1994.
Hey, that sounds like us with Joe Gibbs.
Yeah. Right. Experience is everything. What's up, Mitty? Yep, that is true. And Ken with the laughing emojis. But yeah, go ahead, DT.
Yeah, so that was a good comment right there. So David Blow, former Purdue quarterback, former Detroit Lion, and Cardinals quarterback, he's going to be joining as an assistant quarterback coach. So that puts a lot of question to the offensive staff, right? So you got Kliff Kingsbury, you have Brian Johnson, who's not only the passing game coordinator, but he is assistant head coach. So he's going to be able to get in the room a little bit more and learn the ins and out of the management style of coaching. And you have a holdover in Pritchard. And if I'm not mistaken, Kliff Kingsbury. So that's like multiple guys who have experience working with the quarterback position, and now you got David Blow working. So the question is, we've seen what happened in Carolina. They established the so-called staff, but I felt like there was way too many cooks in the kitchen, and to the point where they were fighting over who's going to call plays and what are we going to do right for Bryce Young. Do y'all think this will be a huge concern heading into this offseason once they establish who is QB1 for this team with all these guys who have great influences on the quarterback?
Yeah, I think that's going to be important for Kliff. Let's assume Kliff has the authority, is the sole person responsible for calling plays, designing the offense, yada, yada, yada. One of the things that it does concern you a little bit is that all these coaches are from like all over, different systems, different teams, different experiences, some very, very, early in their career, some a lot later. You just want to make sure they're on the same page. Yeah. And so don't be surprised if there's a little bit of, depending on how things play out, a little bit of a learning curve with how to work with each other and all the typical team dynamics you may experience or learned about. I'm not gonna say concerned, but I would be I'll be interested in how they're going to get to know each other, learn each other's habits, and then talk and make sure like there's no miscommunication. The one thing that came out, if you believe some of those reports about last year, there's a lot of lack of clarity and communication on the offensive side of the football last year, right? Like if EB wanted something, it didn't always go all the way down to the position coaches and vice versa down to the players. And so you don't want that, right? You don't want that kind of miscommunication. So let's just make sure that they all on the same page starting out like right now.
Yeah, I don't think it'll be a problem with too many cooks in the kitchen. Like y'all said, the biggest thing with that is just communication. I think having people from different trees and systems, mother, can actually be a more of a benefit than it is a deterrent. But yeah, it's just the communication is key, because like if the four of us all get hired to essentially help with the same position, but all of us speak a different language essentially as it pertains to that position, then that player is hearing different information, and even if it means the same thing, they're hearing it differently from everybody, and that's doing more harm than good. So as long as communication is open and you're able to have those conversations and communicate effectively and operate effectively in your roles, I think it'll be fine.
Yeah, and I think the biggest thing too as well is you having these guys that have designated roles with Lynn, who's very experienced with run games, very consistent in that, help marriage the pass run game with Bobby Johnson as well to help the offensive line. And then you got Brian Johnson, who last year had a top 5 offense despite some of the struggles with the Eagles, to come up with some, even more NFL passing concepts to go with some of the concepts Kliff Kingsbury is going to bring. But I think for me, looking at this situation, as much as we're talking about QBX at number 2, let's not forget about the guy who played all 70 games last year, and that's Sam Howell. I think this is going to help him as well. So, with that being said, I also watched Get Up a couple minutes ago saying, whoever they draft at quarterback, you don't have to play him instantly. You can have Sam Howell start. So, are y'all still thinking Sam Howell might have a shot at QB1 again, or you think that Kliff is over? Because y'all know my answer. I already raised the bar last week. I might have to find another bar, a substitute.
I mean, if you pick a quarterback at 2, it'll kind of be hard to sell. No matter how you dress it up, it'll kind of be hard to sell Sam Howell as your starting quarterback on into the season if you pick a quarterback at 2. Because the immediate thought is, regardless of who you pick at 2, if they can't beat out Sam Howell, then they shouldn't have been picked number 2 overall to begin. It's just going to be a whole trickle down effect. So I think it's best that if you pick a quarterback at 2, you make it clear that that's your quarterback moving forward. Now, even if you choose to keep Sam as a backup, I don't think you can have a situation where you can sell it to fans that not that our opinion as fans matters that much as it pertains to that, but I think you have a much harder time selling to fans that we picked this quarterback number 2 overall, but we're going to start the season with the guy we won 4 games with last year.
There's no way. I just cannot see us picking a quarterback at 2 and starting off with Sam Howell. I can't see us running it back with Sam Howell as QB1. Only way I can see that is somehow we all of a sudden trade back. Like if we get a call to trade back, like past 7, then all right, we're probably going to run it back with Sam Howell. I don't think they have a you got to like. I don't want to keep butchering your name, bro. Like like spell it out. Go ahead.
Don't spell it out. Don't spell it out. It's going to tell your algorithm is straight. Don't spell it out.
See, that's what I think it is, but I don't know though. Like I ain't trying to.
He confirmed it. He confirmed it 2 weeks ago. Don't.
Do math on that. Wow. But as of right now, we don't have a strength and conditioning coach, according to the website. So,
okay,
which is interesting. Yeah. Commander, I think too many cooks in the kitchen are better than whoever Vera had, which was no cooks using the microwave. How about scenario? We trade back, get some more second round picks in the first round. Baker Mayfield, and well, if you trade back, you're probably not going to get Marvin Harrison.
Not if you trade back to
far you
7.
trade back.
So that's the other part about that though. Deuce is what if they go free agency in the QB land? Is that possible?
Have y'all noticed during their press conferences, all from Adam Peters all the way to Witt, it's like they always mention something that has been a problem here that they don't want to be involved with. Rebuild. He said he didn't want to say rebuild. We're going to run the ball. We ain't gonna be pass happy. You know, that was an issue. There's a couple other things that they say. It just seems like they always saying things that we kind of been dealing with as a negative these last couple years. So I doubt if they go out there and free agency to find a quarterback. I can't see it. If they do trade Fields and take Caleb, do you guys what? Well, if y'all get Fields, do y'all take Harrison Jr. left tackle? Well, y'all want to know is if they do trade Fields and take Caleb. I think we'll go with May or Daniels.
I'm in the get your guy group.
Yeah. Well,
they identify is their guy. They're going to take him. Like I get, this whole thing going on with Twitter. Everybody's trying to like nitpick.
I know you had a cat, yeah.
I was like, what the Focus.
I'm like, I get everybody trying to nitpick these quarterbacks right now, and look, rightfully so. Like we're a couple of weeks away from the combine, and you're going to watch all these people who just pull up YouTube clips and highlights and watch some of the bad throws, thinking they're a scout. Look, these guys, we hire these guys for a reason, and I love all three quarterbacks, but you're going to have to pick one at 2. Whoever you identify at number 2, and everybody locks in and say that is their guy, they're going to take him. So it could be Daniels, it could be May, or it might be Caleb Williams. We never know. Like we never know what stuff is going to happen. Like we can hear
that's the point of draft boards.
Yeah, like all this stuff is crazy right now, man. Like Twitter is at civil war.
With what it would take, with what we all believe it would take to move up to number 1, even with it only being one spot, with what we believe that haul would be to move up that far, you put your draft board together. If Caleb Williams is number 1 on your draft board and Jaden Daniels is number 2, then when the number 2 pick comes up, you pick Jaden Daniels. It's really not a hard thing. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like we've gotten to this point where, like DT said, with this time of year, everybody's nitpicking every little thing. Most people overthinking it, and a lot of them not even really knowing what they're looking at or what they're seeing. Is there's people pulling up highlight films, swearing they get they scouts and stuff like that, whatever. But you know what I'm saying? Like, identify your guy, your top 2 guys, essentially, because there's a very likelihood that your number 1 guy is going to get picked first. And then pick your number 2 guy. It's not a very complicated thing.
Yeah, I refuse to believe it too. Command taken. Like somebody did point something out about how he's younger than Bo Nix.
And Michael Penix.
Yeah.
And Jaden Daniels too, right?
Jaden Daniels. I think he's older.
He's about the same age, but a couple months off.
Oh, okay.
If we get Fields, you probably draft the O-tackle. Wide receivers are deep. I've also heard some concerns like drops from Marvin. Marvin is the truth, yeah.
So real quick to that comment. All right. Caleb Williams has been the number 1 quarterback in this draft since before he was in college.
Mm-hmm.
Marvin Harrison Jr. has been the number 1 receiver in whatever draft class he chooses to come out in for the last 2-3 years.
Yep.
Why now that they have declared for the draft are people trying to find every single reason that they might not be the player that people have been seeing and evaluating for the last 3 or 4 years?
Because they want him.
Drag fatigue.
Hot take.
I get it.
It's the hot take culture.
I get it, but
Everybody's
deep down to the
put stuff out there, man.
Like, especially with Caleb. Like Caleb has been the number 1 quarterback in whatever draft class he chooses to be a part of since he was still enrolled at Gonzaga. Now that he's actually declared for the draft, people are looking like, oh, he can't do this, he can't do that, he ain't this. Like, come on, bro. Like, Y'all overthinking it. If that's a dude, he's a dude. And some of it is people trying to justify Chicago not picking him so he can fall to their team or that their team us specifically, but their team has a better chance of getting him. But I think those are probably the top 2 players in the draft. Like it is what it is.
I think she's talking about the free agents, Ceelo.
Okay.
Like who else besides Fields? Like Russell
There's
Wilson.
there's Russell, there's Kirk
Mayfield.
Cousins. There's a lot of quarterbacks out there that you could potentially go after. I don't think I think they have what they need in this draft, plus on the roster. I don't see them trading for Fields. I think the Fields situation is interesting. A lot of scenarios and theories behind the Fields thing, but I don't see Kliff. I don't know, man. I mean, I guess I could see Kliff and take a Fields and try to do something with him. But do you want to do that given the short period of time you have on his contract? Is that worth the risk? Because you got to pay him. You're going to have the franchise tag him this year.
Mm-hmm.
You got to probably extend him sometime next year. So what are we doing?
Like the only way I think if they do that, Ceelo, is if they trying to trade down to get more picks. Sign Fields, try to be competitive for the next couple of years, build around, and then go back into. I think they still draft a quarterback.
Yeah, my issue with Fields is only issue. I'm down with something like that. My only issue is you have to be kind of right because you're going to have to determine.
And it's kind of you have to know you got to fix.
You have to fix them.
You got 2 years, but this first year going to say a lot, right? Like you going to have to see
a new offense, new everything. It's
It's a new offense. He is yet to eclipse 3,000 yards passing, which is like hard not to do
in this era of football.
In this era of football, so things like that, you really have to like believe in him.
Yeah,
that's why I feel like it's so far fetched.
Yeah, I think if you were picking, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 or lower, I think that's an easier conversation to have. But with having the number 2 overall pick and knowing you can get one of the top 2 quarterbacks in the draft, and you can literally kind of build and mold your own guy versus trying to fix somebody else's. I think the allure of that is just too good to pass up for somebody.
And I think you have 4 or 5 years to do it too.
Yeah. Right. Jack Miller, I think is your first time comment, I believe. So we definitely appreciate you. Please come back. Definitely have you. I think 4 is good. 4 is a good striking range if you want to get Jaden Daniels. Because the only thing with if okay, so I'm trying to think.
Getting their 4th. I'm gonna need their first
round
pick in 2025.
Yeah, I think so. With this scenario, what are the Patriots doing? I mean, they letting go a lot of veterans. They're not paying their veterans, so it looks like they're going to start young. Are they going to? Do they want to add picks, or do they want to get a quarterback? Like, what do the new? And when we talk about the Patriots, we think of Bill Belichick, but we got to get that out of our mind. Like, it's a whole new regime. So, like, what do they want to do? So, if I know they're going quarterback, and I'm okay with Daniels and May, I don't mind moving to 4, because the Cardinals, they're going to come up and they're going to want Marvin Harrison for sure. And then who's 5th? The Chargers.
Chargers will get a wide receiver.
Chargers probably.
Yeah, they
receiver,
got
Brock
They
Bowers.
don't need us. Yeah.
The Giants, if they believe in Jones, they might want to go wide receiver. So if those teams want to go wide receiver, I think we can get into a little. I think we could create a bidding war for that number 2 pick, depending on how far back we want to go. And this JJ McCarthy dude is getting a whole lot of. He's gaining a whole lot of steam, man. Yeah, Cody said #team get your guy.
This might be the most valuable number 2 pick since the RG3 draft.
Yeah, but we moved up to get it. So
I know what I'm saying. Like,
get up, yeah.
Where number 1 isn't necessarily the number 1 is kind of a foregone conclusion, and number 2 is more your striker zone if you want to trade up to try to get somebody.
So let's not have the Rams The Rams' success or lack thereof, because they did hardly
let me
anything
get
with
through
them
these.
dudes.
Let me get through these real quick. What's up, Simp? We don't know which one of the top 3 quarter would be a bust. That's why we should trade back. But I don't know. I don't think because one of them not going to be. Like, I mean, history. One of them is going to, and you have to. You can't be afraid because every year you need a quarterback. You can say one of them is going to be a bust.
Yeah,
So
and history says one of them will be, but you can't be like, oh yeah, one of these dudes gonna be a bust. So why ain't gonna pick none of them? That's when you need one. That's not great logic.
And Kim, it depends, Kim. I think Marvin Harris is definitely one. I don't think he's 1A or 1AA and any. I think he is one. And then you got Neighbors, and then you got Rome. But again, like Bree said earlier, you know, these guys is number one for years. Marvin Harrison is number one for years, and now all of a sudden, he's not the clear number one.
So I got a scenario for you guys. How would y'all feel if we went after Kyler Murray?
His contract starts this year, so that's $50 million.
Yeah,
off the break.
In that case,
I don't know what that injury. I don't know what that injury did.
I wonder what his relationship is with Kliff now, because it didn't end well, you know, their last year before he got fired. And I'm not mistaken, I think he was one of the reasons why they put in his contract clause at first.
He can't do certain stuff. He got to have a certain study amount of
he played too many video games. I just put that out there only because just, you know, of the Kliff piece. And I'm not. For me, it's like a 10% chance that Arizona is not. I mean, that's a different regime, different coach, different front office. They did not pay him. They did not draft him. Just coming off ACL.
But he's year one on that deal.
I'm just saying.
But also, if you're Arizona, do one of those 3 quarters. Excuse me.
That cap hit got to be $100 million.
Let's cancel out Caleb Williams. Let's assume Caleb Williams going number one. Are Drake May or Jaden Daniels better than Kyler Murray right now? Like, I would think if you giving up Kyler Murray for a rookie, is almost. I think you kind of.
You have to be unquestionable.
I would say it's not a clear cut yes or no. That's the problem.
Yeah. So command taken. If I'm sure they're going to pick up Justin's 5th year, no team is going to trade for him without it already being picked up. So that'll be our cap hit.
We got to figure out is the fifth year something that the other team can pick up, or does it have to be the original team? I don't know.
I guess it has to be within the
deal.
Within the time frame of your of the franchise tag.
So like Chicago would likely have to pick up the option before they trade him. Like,
because I think one values him. Like, I think with him having 2 years in the trade gives them better value and better picks than just 1 year.
Hey George, now scout the player, not the helmet, bro. y'all gotta stop with that.
Well, Drake may be compared to every UNC quarterback people can think of, bro.
Like, were y'all were doing that for CJ Stroud? Look what happened.
Look at that. Ohio State 1 for 30. All of a sudden, they pump they QBU.
I'm just saying, man. Also do for what's the boy name? Joe Burrow too. Joe Burrow.
I thought Maurice Clarett was gonna be a Hall of Famer. I just knew he was gonna be a Hall of Famer.
I thought he was too.
What's up, Drewski? Yeah, man. Twitter going crazy. What's up, Smoke? I'd rather have Baker over Fears and Air Raid. Are we gonna talk about that? Because Kliff said he don't run the Air Raid. He said no put that tag on him.
Has an option.
He can be used.
I think that's
okay.
Appreciate it. Yeah. So that's true. I mean, when you start getting into the franchise tag, what's the QB franchise tag this year? It has to be like 35, right?
It's probably higher than that.
No, we looked at this 40. Before. It wasn't too crazy.
No, it's not going to be that much. It's got to be like 35 or 40.
Because the franchise is the average of the top 3 salaries, right?
Top
5 salaries.
Okay.
30.
He's still
36
years off. And he is young. So I don't know, man. Like, this Fields thing might be something. Yeah, Caleb is coming. Chase, Mayday. What's up, Chase? George says Kingsbury was Baker Mayfield coaching
He
college. Yep, but we're not going to fix everything we need in one draft. That's true. Fixing Jay Fields is him being surrounded by other dogs and the OC who sees the game from. Well, let's hope so, man, because
that's a very optimistic.
I can't believe it. Wait a minute. You can't say, patience. Who is LePay? Who is you, LePay? Because I got to figure out who that is on Twitter. I think New England's going after Drake. I wouldn't be surprised. Thank you, Ryan. You're a Bears fan. Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, the Patience is a Bears fan. Jerome might want Daniels instead of May.
Yeah, we don't know.
Oh, he said you're a Commanders fan. Why will Cardinals move up the top three if the top three getting quarterbacks? No. The scenario, Travis, was if we wanted to trade back and get more picks. So if we go to if Caleb goes number 1 and we're okay with Drake May and Daniels getting either one of them, then it's okay for us to trade back to 4. If the Cardinals want to make sure that they get Marvin Harrison and no one else tries to jump them like the Chargers or maybe even the Giants, if they all go on wide receiver. It's just a scenario.
Who just say New England wouldn't pick him?
All right, Henry. Some of us will try to tell y'all.
The boy threw 8 passes in one game.
Say he'll never date women again. It's time for you to get married, AJ.
Date one. Did he say? What did he say?
Do you date one? They get him over dating one. You gotta keep trying.
Lord, that's the analogy. That's where you want to go with that.
Oh man, I don't know. The Patience and Kim
fighting back in the YouTube comments is crazy.
Oh no, this is a question, George. I don't know, man. I know we do not want Zach Wilson.
That's nasty.
I researched that if you trade for a player that has the option of a 5th year, it's a certain time frame that allows you to pick up their 5th year, even if the original team didn't. All right, appreciate that.
Appreciate that, Tay. Because the whole point of the 5th year is so the player can stay with the original team.
That boy went to the YouTube burning. Yeah? I know who that is.
Yeah, it's dog time. Team option before trading, but it would make sense to stay alive after the draft. Stat man. Yeah. Stephen Roy, appreciate you commenting. This might be your first time. Either way you go, you're taking a chance. That's right.
For sure.
Yeah,
absolutely.
What about risk?
He said that kind of They played 1 year together like 7 years ago.
On a team that wasn't that great.
Yeah,
they do kind of look like all the UNC guys, so it kind of looks.
Yeah, they do. I mean, but Drake May got like red hair, don't he?
Nah, I think
he doesn't really have a fair shot to show his potential last year. I don't think nobody on the team had a fair shot in that sense.
And it's just the way the cookie crumbles sometimes, though.
Except Andrew Wiley, he has no excuse.
Yeah. Go ahead, DJ. Oh, they go to quarterbacks. Kirk Cousins. I'm about to send y'all this cheat sheet. Is all the free agents. Kirk Cousins, Baker Mayfield, the mustache, Joe Flacco, Jacoby, Ryan Tannehill, Jameis Winston, Tyrod Taylor, Joshua Dobbs, Drew Lock, Mariota, Mason Rudolph, Sam Darnold, Easton Stick, Tyler Huntley, Carson Wentz, and blah 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 blah.
Let's go keep old Sam. That's crazy, Sam, on 23. That's crazy.
Did you read so far down that list you said Easton Stick?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, it's worse after that.
Oh, my God.
You be finding out Bears' intentions with Fields next week before Sunday.
What's happening next week, by the way?
I think we finding out right now, man. You don't check the chat, man.
Whoever they try,
don't the league get started?
Bro, I thought he was gonna be the next Megatron.
Who? Oh my goodness, bro.
He was killing them here.
People just knew. Oh my goodness.
He was about to be the next Megatron.
Even the national media was buying it. They're like,
yeah.
That's a good pickup.
Y'all done?
I ain't seen nothing. Which chat, DT? We got 17,000 now.
Take command, John. Malachi Corey. Yes, that dude is a dog, man. Especially put him in the air raid system.
All right, we'll see y'all this. What we at, Ceelo? We doing Kliff.
Kliff.
Uh-oh. The mystery man. We gonna have a fun time with this dude, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm just gonna be real interested to see how they're gonna retool this offense with the money, especially talk about trying to get some edge rushers and definitely trying to fix the old line. What you gonna do with Linda, Wiley?
Why would you hold on? Read this comment. Why would you think that? What could you have possibly seen to think that's what he was trying?
See, this one,
Because he wore 18. Didn't he wear 18?
Yeah.
Hey, Reddy Moss wore 18 for like 2 years.
I knew he wasn't gonna be good because his helmet ain't fit right. His face was real small in his helmet. He had like the ear pads was real big.
Yeah, he had the real big ear pads. I remember that.
I knew he wasn't gonna be good. I knew he was gonna be good.
What makes him tick? Everybody's
all right. We're gonna talk these comments.
Different. Everybody learns differently. Everybody processes differently. Likes different plays. Sees the game differently. So I really try to get to the bottom of who they are as a person, who they are as a player, and build it around them.
Kliff, John Keim, ESPN. Everybody talks about the air raid offense. How has that evolved for you from the time you're in college to Arizona to now?
Yeah.
I don't know if y'all heard John. He was kind of low, but he was asking about the air raid offense. How did it change from his time in college and through the NFL?
At Texas Tech, University of Houston, we had Case Keenum and Patrick Mahomes, so we were throwing it a ton, and it was spread offense, just like a lot of those are. You get in the NFL, you learn the nature of that game and the different personnel groups and the matchups and things like that. And I'm not sure where we were on pass percentage my last 3 years there, but I know it wasn't at the top. So we want to be balanced. We want to be able to run the football and play action pass and really do whatever it takes to win. But the air raid deal is I'm honored to be a part of that because it was Mike Leach, and I have a tremendous amount of respect for him. But I wouldn't categorize anything we do under that name.
What did you learn?
So he started off as talking about the quarterback. So he basically said because we had those quarterbacks, we was able to run the spread offense, the air raid, and be successful because of the quarterbacks. We get to the NFL, it became more about personnel, right?
Yeah.
Because that second year of college, you can tell they kind of started running the ball a little bit more. So,
yeah,
I mean,
another thing too is like in college, for Kliff and his offenses, the quarterback were majority of the time the best player on the field. That's why they always had success. I mean, Case Keenum put up historic numbers. Menzel has won the Heisman. Patrick Mahomes we know Patrick Mahomes now. Like, they were the best guys, but him realizing that it's more of a team sport because you have to have the pieces around your quarterback. You have to have the O-line. You have to have the personnel to match what you want to do and even adapt to what you want to do in case of injury. So, that's some of the biggest topics we have talked about for Kliff. So hopefully, we see a revitalized and different Kliff, also learning from his buddy Lincoln Riley.
What's up, Oxtail? Yeah, Jets looking at how. Oh boy.
Why?
Yeah, Kim loves his voice. Okay, Kim, we'll try to play more clips for you. Just hit that like button, Kim. Keep telling the people to hit the like button. No disrespect, I'm getting tired of sloppy.
Raise the bar. Raise the bar.
Hey, Sam Howell, listen to y'all right now.
Man, he was out that joint like he was like one handing stuff over people in training camp.
Terrell at practice speed, Terrell Pryor is an all-pro player. But when you put him in live, when you put him in live game action against starting caliber NFL players, it ain't.
Hey, look over there on that YouTube channel, Henry. I've been lazy, man.
That's bad.
Let me see. Kliff full of wait a minute. Wait a minute.
Algorithm.
Wait a minute, dog.
So Kliff, he just joking. He gonna really be throwing that thing, huh? Okay.
I mean, I ain't gonna lie to you. I think it's more so Coach Bridget anything than saying like basically saying like we can do other things. Like we all know what Kliff Kingsbury wants to do. Like it's not.
He want to throw that rock.
Man. Yeah, it's not a secret what he wants to do. I just think he's smart enough to not do it 100% of the time, and he won't go into a press conference. Oh yeah, if you run in the air raid, you're gonna throw the ball 95% of the time. Like you never do that.
Right. But he's right though. I mean, like y'all said, when after the first year, they were like middle of the pack, run pass balance. I mean, they were not a heavy passing team, so he's actually not far off if that's true.
It's the thing. I think having these guys in the building, like Brian Johnson, he saw how effective it was when you have a running game and you stick to the running game. Because when Swift was cooking in the running game, the Eagles was cooking. When he wasn't, they were who they end up being. Yeah. And then, go ahead, Ceelo.
I was just gonna say, like, what do y'all? I mean, like, do y'all feel like? Because I haven't looked at the breakdown of the run game with James Conner versus Kyler Murray, and I mean, do y'all think Kliff's version of whatever you want to call his offense requires a very mobile / athletic quarterback, or do you think his offense is pretty versatile?
I saw somewhere today, actually. Did y'all see it was a tweet? I think they put in the chat about somebody was saying he didn't want to go that route of a mobile running quarterback, similar to Kyler. So they kind of like knocked out Jaden Daniels and said May. I can't remember.
May is mobile too. Like, I don't think a lot of quarterbacks. He's not like he's not running, but I think like Lamar Jackson is a running quarterback. He's not mobile. Lamar Jackson can run. Like Patrick Mahomes is mobile. Like, he would prefer to throw from the pocket, but if he needs to, he can use his legs to create whatever. Like there's a difference. I think a lot of quarterbacks, most quarterbacks coming out of college now are mobile. I think Kyler Murray is like a running quarterback.
I think they meant running there.
Yeah,
we do have to separate that because a lot of mess up my own algorithm. A lot of quarterbacks are starting to add that function to their game.
Yeah.
When you watch college football, everybody is running.
Yeah. And I think one key difference is that when you're saying that, to me, a mobile quarterback is a guy that's able to create while on the run, also looking downfield to throw. I think right now, to me, I know we're kind of early with the quarterback. I think that's the biggest difference between a Jaden Daniels and a Drake May, because I know Jaden, he knows he's the best athlete majority of the times on that field, so he can outrun guys. Whereas a Drake May, he has enough sneaky athleticism to escape danger and even run, or he's able to look downfield and throw a dime like we see the Patrick Mahomes and Josh Allen's do.
Right.
I just remembered Kliff in that same presser. He said, "Quarterbacks got to make plays." I mean, that was one of the things that he articulated, and what qualifies as a good quarterback. He says, when things break down, you got to figure it out. And it just felt like, you know, it just felt like he looking for somebody who can kind of do that thing. And that's probably just for anyone. That's not, you know, that's not just for like a Jay Daniels, right? It could be for any quarterback, whatever your skill set. You gotta make plays when things kind of go off script. And I think that's his point. But I just thought it was interesting when he said that.
I only remember one quarterback that was really not mobile, and that was like Davis Webb at Texas Tech. But other than that, I really can't remember nobody else. I think everybody else had ability to get out.
You talking about under him?
Yeah, under him.
Yeah,
that's a good point. That's a good point. Yeah, I think they're gonna get a guy that can move a little bit, man. But I guess, like you said, Breeze, all three of these guys are actually going to count like you know, MPJ or whatever. All four of them guys can run.
I'm trying to think of the last quarterback that came. Who was the last quarterback that came out that was like strictly a pocket passer? Like that's just, like quarterbacks nowadays are athletes. They may not be fast or like elite runners, but
what do y'all think about like Mac Jones?
Yeah, Mac
Jones.
He can't even walk right. He can move. He can't even walk right.
Yeah, we see where Mac Jones' career is vastly headed.
Do y'all consider CJ Stroud a pocket passer, or y'all consider?
That's a great point. I was going to say that too. I like CJ ain't really no big runner out there.
I mean,
I think he's a pocket passer,
but he doesn't. You know, he doesn't have to kill you with his feet.
But he's mobile too.
He's like mobile. Like he prefers to sit in the pocket. Yeah, like he'll move when he needs to, not when he wants to. Like he prefers to sit in the pocket and dot you up. But if he needs to move, and he'll just let he's capable of it though.
So and like to Henry's point, like I think all three of them can do it. Like I think all three of them have mobility. I think most of the quarterbacks in this draft have mobility, and I think is it time to separate? Like, is it a running quarterback, mobile quarterback, and a pocket passer? Like pocket passer is somebody that just move their hips and they ain't really going nowhere. Like Penix looks like, for instance, you know. And then you have May, Caleb, and them who are mobile. Is Jaden Daniels just a running quarterback that can throw? I mean, I don't know.
Yeah. So, my thing is like this. So, because I asked this in the chat, because we know some of these comps for, you know, like a May, people are saying Justin Herbert, Josh Allen, based on like the physical size and stuff. And of course, everybody's going to try to say Lamar Jackson for Jaden. So, when you talk about these quarterbacks, you know, for a Kliff, if a Josh Allen or Herbert was in the NFC, take them out of the AFC, are they the best quarterback in the NFC by a large margin?
Say it again?
If you take Josh Allen or Justin Herbert out of the AFC, we know the AFC is stacked, and you look at the NFC, you're like, okay, you got Dak, you got Jalen, you got Goff and Purdy. But if you put them guys in the NFC, are they the best quarterback based on the talent?
Yeah, I would say so.
Yeah,
because that's how it is. So. I mean, if you do NFL quarterback, it's going to be like what 4 or 5 AFC quarterbacks before you even get the NFC.
Hey man, I ain't gonna lie. I still think Matt Stafford is a when he healthy. Matt Stafford
that's that thing right there though.
Throw the rock, bro.
Yeah, it's that when he's healthy thing.
Yeah, I mean, he just really. I mean, last year was kind of his first year of having like real injury. I don't know. I think Stafford is really good, but I feel what you're saying. I think Herbert would be right there, or Josh Allen.
Yeah. So,
so the Josh Allen comp, like when I first started watching, I always thought the running part was more Josh Allen, and the frame and the arm talent was more Herbert, because he kind of runs recklessly. And people talk about Daniels and not knowing how to slide. Like May runs like that too. He runs like very like what's the word I'm looking for? Like he doesn't slide. He wants to run over cornerbacks and all. Like you're not gonna be able to do that. You're not gonna be able to do that in the pros.
I think he because of his stature, he's probably more equipped to try. But I mean, we saw Sam Howell do that. Like Sam Howell will willingly dip his throwing shoulder into somebody before he tries to slide more times than that.
I agree. Sam is like out there. He looked like he out there playing, like bouncing against the walls in the jungle gym.
One
He's
of
just
his
trying to.
He said
one of his biggest clips from UNC is when he was getting pinballed around. I forget what game. I forget the game and the team. But he was getting bounced around and just bouncing off people.
Yeah.
Nah,
So what about JJ? Do people say JJ to Herbert because that's kind of Herbert was in college where he didn't like throw a lot, do like RPO stuff?
who?
JJ
McCarthy. People keep comparing him to Herbert, and I feel like it's only because of the
Herbert.
that's the first time I heard that.
I don't know, man. Hey, Henry, what you think? Because look, so I saw earlier in the thing with JJ McCarthy is that you'll hear people say Harbaugh didn't ask him to do it, so that's why he didn't do it.
I mean, Henry is far more into.
Oh yeah, that's what Henry said. Yep.
Because
JJ seemed more Herbish.
that's just the style of Michigan. They were a run heavy team. They were going to run the football, play action. You know, if you watch Harbaugh when he was with the 49ers, that was the same style he had that led his teams to NFC
What's these
championship.
front slashes? What is this?
He trying to change your algorithm, bro. He took
Yeah, he trying to hack into my system or something. What are these front slashes?
front side.
But all right, we're gonna look at the off-season schedule. But just letting y'all know, we got some new things going on Red Zone DC Media. One of it is a boxing show. So let me get y'all this promo. Tap in. We're gonna be running live in a few weeks. Go ahead, DT. I see. I think we doing the kids, yeah.
Hey, what up, you guys? It's your boy DW. Super fired up about some brand new boxing content coming your way. Red Zone Roadwork Boxing, hosted by a fan favorite, Miss Lady E. A bunch of us sharp, opinionated folks are going to get on here and we're going to hash it out with our pound for pound list and favorite knockouts, fights we're looking forward to. Shows will be before the big event, during, live, and post wrap up to see who was right, who was wrong, and who just had a good time, right? Can't wait.
That John still playing?
Nah. Nah.
Oh, what happened? That no, hold on. So today, which is not on the this is not on the on this list of all season dates. So, but today was the like if you all saw some teams that had to pay some cap, some who had some dead cap on some contracts today that the players wasn't because they wasn't re-signed. I mean, they wasn't restructured. That those teams have a dead cap, and those players become free agents. The reason why is because of y'all hear void years. You know how they add void years to contracts to kind of spread the money over, and because their contract wasn't restructured before the void years start, all the money from the void years it's called a dead cap, and they have to pay it off. Which I haven't really. It seemed like this is the first time because I haven't noticed that before this year. Have you all?
I think a lot of teams just started adding a lot of them dead, well, at least that I know of, just started adding a lot of them dead cap years and trying to as ways to finesse the cap in the contract structure. But I did see it with I think with Mike Evans that Tampa Bay couldn't come to an agreement with him.
That's an interesting one.
All right, let me try this again, and then we're gonna because I don't know what happened the last time.
Hey, what up, you guys? It's your
Oh, yeah,
boy
play for me.
DW. Super fired up about some brand new boxing content
Oh, the whole
coming
thing
your
played?
way. Red Zone
Yeah.
Work Box.
Oh, okay, cool. That joint freezing up in mine.
Oh,
All right,
man.
cool. All right.
So looks like February 23rd to March 9th, franchise. Transition player designation period. Do we have any franchisable players?
No.
Negative.
No.
After this season, no. We don't even got people to me worth $15 million.
Some people want to franchise tag Cam Curl.
That's crazy.
Okay.
Nah. If we can work on a deal with Soviet franchise tag.
We can talk a little bit of right here, right now. Let's talk about it. Who get money? Harley.
I'm pretty sure he would love that.
Oh, he would love it. I'm sure he would love it.
Them taxes.
talking about?
Curl.
Cam Curl.
All right, so tomorrow the franchise transition tag opens. It closes March 5th.
Yep.
I'd be surprised if we tagged anybody, to be honest.
And there's I don't think we have any taggable players, tag-worthy players.
We should not be tagging anybody. This is a 4-win team. Are we serious?
The combine starts February 26th through March 4th.
Yep.
Franchise tag Antonio Gibson. Like, come on, bro.
We need to pay attention to all these dates.
Yeah,
we need to pay attention to all them dates.
Y'all can have a combine
though.
I only like watching receivers and DBs and a little bit of quarterback. I'm not sitting there watching linemen kick step in shorts, man. No.
The underwear Olympics.
Combine for medicals.
What about Cosme? Jack, why you mentioned Cosme?
14.2 per? No.
Yeah, I think he gets like a 3-year, $40 million deal, something like that. That's like 13 and a half or something like that.
Cosme?
Nah.
No.
Oh, Cam. Oh.
Free agency March 11th through the 13th is that legal tampering period, which I just don't understand.
Just open free agency, though. Like
at noon on Monday. Okay.
But the league year doesn't open till the 13th, 4 p.m. So that's when everything can become official.
Gotcha.
League meetings, like we got to worry about none of this no more. Like league meetings, remember last year we was all on like league meetings and this and that. We ain't got to worry about none of that this year. Teams with the first year head coach can begin off-season workout programs April 1st. April 15th, teams with the returning head coach can begin off-season workouts. April 17th, the prospects to meet at team facility. This is where you get the official visits from teams that go out. I think each team gets 26 invitations to send out. The deadline to get that in is April 17th. Restricted free agents to sign offer sheets is April 19th. Do we have any restricted free agents?
Not just worth it. I think we have like 3, but there's nobody like this.
And we definitely just to let y'all know, we definitely going to get into free agency. We're definitely going to start that back up. We probably start up next week. Start looking at free agency and our team, who we should keep, all of those different things.
When it comes to this team, this free agency conversation is going to be nasty.
Yeah.
Yep.
Detroit, April 25th. See Henry. Make sure that Captain Jay's wings is ready for me when I get there. Look, he asked about Fuller because they want him. Ain't giving y'all nobody.
Y'all want to know who a restricted free agent?
Who?
Future Pro Bowler Jabril Cox. He's your Hall of Famer.
Yeah. It's Terry Worth.
What does that say? Command radar. White. This could be his Terry.
Based on the position he plays and his value to this team, yes.
Yeah.
Because Terry's still the best receiver on this team.
If only he had.
He's still a top 15 wide receiver.
Play,
yeah.
And a guy that will get him the ball consistently.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't even think that's a question, honestly.
Yeah. Appreciate you joining. It might be your first, maybe.
Yeah.
Bosky, yeah.
Bosky.
Bosky, maybe.
Question.
Appreciate you, bro. I'll throw here after we start the season. Do you think we hear anything about State? Well, Ceelo.
That's my prediction. They're gonna announce the location at some point in 2024.
I thought Virginia said that they wanted to wait until after the elections to for like whoever may get elected in the fall, I guess, or whatever, to make some decisions. I could be wrong with that, but I thought I saw somebody say something about that about Virginia.
Might be right. I'm not sure. I just feel like they want to get out of FedEx, and breaking ground is going to be important.
Yes.
Usually about a 3 to 4 year project. So
there's going to be some hurt people if
it don't matter what's done. It can be some hurt people.
Yeah, it's true.
I think the comparison is to the skill set, not the results of the team he plays on.
He hate the Chargers.
What is it, Justin? Oh, who is this?
Dog tired.
It's not that.
I think we good. See,
all right.
Yeah.
Hey, appreciate y'all for joining us. Talked a lot about air raid, coaching staff, off-season schedule. But hey, keep tuning in. We got a new boxing segment. You got to come check us out. We got a lot of entertainment stuff coming up.
That box will end up being very loud at points.
I bet
yeah. It's going to be very loud.
I bet it will.
Hey, come rock with us. Come rock with us. I appreciate y'all for joining us, though. Do it because you love it, not because it love you. One beat, one sound, one heart, one love.
Hold on, real quick. Let me put this on before we go.
Wait a minute, hold up. Deuce and killed the exit. Outro.
That's nasty.
Hold on. I was trying to get it beforehand. Hold on, here we go.
Uh-oh.
The way that we live is not for everybody. Okay? It's not. All right? Because we're going to run and put our bodies on people in a violent manner. All right? The structure doesn't matter to me. The main thing that matters to me is, are we going to be arriving violently? All right? And we're going to turn the ball over. Right? We're going to make sure we disrupt these quarterbacks. You'll hear me talk about this all the time. The ball is life. All right? And so it's like air. And we got to have it. We got to get it. As coaches, when you start to lose sometimes, coaches start to stay later, and my thought process is I don't care. I've been on 20 wins in a row, and I've lost 6 in a row, okay? I go home the same time because I'm giving you everything I have. Everything I have every time. So when coaches started to stay later after they lost 2 or 3 games, man, you were cheating. If you don't do it the right way, you're going to get called out on. Okay? There's only one way to do it, and that's the way that we want it done. And if that's not the way that you want to live, that's fine. Okay? All right, you probably be somewhere else. It's my family, it's my football, and it's
the bench. Yeah.
And God. And other than that, I'm a simple guy. I'm a country boy from Alabama.